First at 5, we're live at the scene of a death investigation in the village of Blue Mounds. What we've learned from law enforcement at this hour.
The Madison city clerk resigns after the November gaffe over uncounted ballots.
And ahead of the busy travel season, another string of air safety incidents and has anxieties up for travelers.
We welcome you to News 3 now at 5.
And thanks for joining us. A death investigation is underway in Blue Mounds. Police and the Dane County Sheriff's Office say the investigation is taking place on Smoky Mountain Trail. The Sheriff's Office says there is one person in custody.
The Sheriff's Office released more information at a press conference earlier this afternoon, and our Merrill Hubbard is live in Blue Mounds with more on what we learned. Merrill?
Susan, Eric, I'm on Smoky Mountain Trail where Dane County sheriffs responded to a disturbance that ultimately led to the death of one 54-year-old woman. Now, around 11:40 a.m., deputies responded to an initial call that came in from a witness reporting a disturbance in this area where 2 women were involved. Dane County sheriffs say as deputies arrived on scene, they found a 54-year-old woman who sustained injuries that led to her death, despite life-saving efforts.
Any investigation or any incident that involves the death of an individual, there's always a potential of that spreading to the community. Our deputies and responding officers did a fantastic job containing the incident, apprehending the individual, and providing life or potentially life-saving measures to the individual who was later pronounced deceased.
Now, as I said earlier, 2 women were involved. The other is 31 years old. Dane County sheriffs told me that she tried to flee the scene first by car and then by foot. Now, after a short foot pursuit, she was apprehended and now is in police custody. We still do not know the relationship between these 2 women, but we will keep coming to you live with more updates. But for now, reporting live in Blue Mounds, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Merrill, thank you. In Stoughton, police have been asking the public to avoid Main Street near South Division Street.
And our Jalen Banks is there now as police have released an update. What did police say happened here, Jalen?
Eric and Susan, just behind me, a vast majority of this street saw a very large police presence earlier today, where around 1:20 this afternoon, police had responded to a shooting victim incident. And in their initial investigation, Stoughton police say the shooting itself did not occur here just behind me. Now, the victim was transported to the hospital and is being treated for their injuries. They also say the incident does not appear random. However, there is no threat to the public. And in the video that you're seeing right now, again, there was a heavy police presence with Stoughton PD, the sheriff department, along with EMS vehicles. Now, we did see a car being towed away from the scene as well. Police had tape up from the Stoughton store just behind me until the end of the block. Again, a heavy police presence, and during that time, they were cleaning up the sidewalk behind me. From what many witnesses in the area say, that there was blood. But we'll continue to keep you updated as we gather more information. For now, reporting in Stoughton, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. Southern Wisconsin has a very high fire danger right now. It's very windy outside and dry. And according to the Department of Natural Resources, fires are at a high risk. Dane, Rock, Columbia, and Sauk counties are among those in the risk area. In Beaver Dam, firefighters are asking residents to avoid any unnecessary burning until conditions improve. At the moment, there are only 7 counties that are under a moderate danger. The other 65 counties have either high or very high danger. There have been nearly 500 wildfires in Wisconsin this year, burning 1,900 acres and destroying 24 structures.
A lot of Wisconsin could be expecting some relief from the fire danger, maybe some showers coming our way. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the weather patio with when we can expect some rain.
And when the winds will ease up too. It sounds like the tornado scene from the Wizard of Oz movie right now. And it's those ingredients that you were just mentioning, Susan and Eric, right now with the elevated fire risk. We could use some more raindrops with low relative humidity, these strong winds out here, and dry vegetation. It's still early in the spring. We still do have that elevated danger, and that's going to continue till we can get more appreciable drops of water or snow for that matter. Got a little bit coming tonight. I'll show you more of that in just a moment. It's later in the week as we go Thursday and into Friday, and then another weather system in the weekend that could bring some real decent rains to not just southern Wisconsin, but all of Wisconsin. Right now, Storm Tracker is showing a few showers off towards the north and towards the west. They're going to be sliding off towards the south and towards the east, holding together enough to bring us a few rain showers, possibly mixed in with a little bit of wet snow tonight, but we're not expecting significant snow accumulations or a lot of water accumulation for that matter. Right now, temperatures are in the 50s. Coming up in Maine weather, I'll let you know just how much water we squeeze out tonight and the latest on a weather maker for the end of the week that could bring us some strong storm chances in just a couple moments.
All right, Alex, thank you. After being placed on leave last month, City of Madison clerk Mary Beth Witzel-Bale has resigned.
Witzel-Bale has served in that role for nearly 20 years and overseen some 60 elections. This resignation comes as the Wisconsin Elections Commission continues to investigate 200 absentee ballots that went uncounted in the November general election. The Elections Commission says that error may have been caused by issues in Madison's election process, including poor communication between Witzel-Bale and the commission. Now, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway commented on the resignation saying, quote, "Mary Beth embodies the motto she brought to the clerk's office. We exist to assist. I wish her the very best in her future endeavors." City Attorney Michael Haas will continue in the acting clerk role while the national search is conducted to find a permanent replacement.
A Fitchburg man who Monona police arrested last week in connection to a string of burglaries has been arrested for another burglary. Police say the 36-year-old man was arrested this morning on Monona Drive near Old Brick Botanical Gardens. At around 2:20, a caller reported a person on a collapsible ladder climbing into an apartment window. Officers found the man behind the building near his vehicle, where they found burglary tools and illegal drugs. He is facing charges of attempted burglary, possession of burglary tools, violation of a restraining order, and 2 counts of felony bail jumping.
Well, you are taking a live look at the Beltline just west of the Ohio River. Today through Wednesday, the Wisconsin State Patrol plans on using aerial enforcement. We don't have that video right now. They're planning on using aerial enforcement along the Beltline and throughout Dane County on U.S. Highways 12 and 18. State Patrol officers from that say that from the air it's easier to spot those drivers who are speeding or driving aggressively. If they do see a violator from above, they'll radio ground-based officers to make that traffic stop. Well, Governor Tony Evers says that $3.2 million in small business development grants have been awarded to 19 groups statewide. Beaver Dam received $50,000 to expand its new business grant program. DeForest and Windsor were awarded $250,000 to help upgrade commercial properties. $60,000 went to support young entrepreneurs and small business loans in Greene County. And Iowa County was given $125,000 for its Business Boost initiative for local startups.
A new study suggests that children might be hit harder by COVID than previously thought. The study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association found children who get COVID face a higher rate of kidney disease and worse kidney function. The risk is even greater for kids with pre-existing kidney problems. The study says more monitoring is needed after a child gets a COVID infection.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has denied a request to help manage unsafe lead levels in Milwaukee public schools. The agency says it can no longer assist the city's health department after it lost its lead experts in mass firings last week. Now, prior to the layoffs, the Milwaukee Health Department had been working with the CDC for 2 months to address hazardous lead contamination in multiple school buildings in Milwaukee. Health and Human Services has said it's planning to continue to work on lead poisoning prevention and surveillance. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's health department says it is committed to finding local solutions.
A new website is shining a light on a growing health insurance crisis facing Wisconsin teachers. The site, created by WEA Trust, shows that some districts offer plans with family deductibles as high as $15,000, with some employees forced to spend over half of their salary on health care costs. On average, public school workers face deductibles 10 times higher than state employees. The website WISCschools.info lets users compare plans and costs district by district. Educators say the issue is impacting recruitment and retention across the state.
A new study from Lending Tree shows the cost of raising a child has surged nationwide, and Wisconsin families are certainly feeling the squeeze. It now costs, they say, over $218,000 to raise a child in Wisconsin, 45th highest, they say, in the United States. Nationwide, costs have jumped 25% since last year, averaging roughly $300,000 per child. Lending Tree cites rising child childcare costs, inflation, and higher demand as major drivers here, with families now spending nearly 23% of their income on child-related expenses.
Fishing in Wisconsin requires patience and perseverance. Those are qualities that can be valuable in navigating the challenges and uncertainties of life. This holds true for 8-year-old William Schultz. He lives for all the time at the lake fishing with his family. His smile shows it all, even when struggling through medical issues since birth. So for Dad Jim and Mom Brittany, it really comes down to simplicity.
It's just being able to do the little things in life that we love to do, as simple as going spending time on the water.
It's just that time to spend with each other, nice, quiet. It's away from the hustle and bustle of life.
Well, tonight on News 3 Now at 6, our Josh Spreiter shows us how the community is doing something good in helping their son live out his dream.
87 Wisconsin veterans will take part in Badger Honor Flight's 58th mission this Saturday. They'll be traveling to Washington to visit the memorials in their honor. The veterans who served from the Korean War through the War on Terror will fly to Dane County Regional Airport. The trip fully funded by donations, including years of work by the Regent Street Dream Team. Badger Honor Flight has flown over 5,000 veterans since the mission started back in 2010.
Well, Alex is back next with a complete check of the forecast.
And checking in on airline safety as anxiety climbs after some recent incidents, the experts weigh in. And on Wall Street today, the markets start the week on the upswing. The Dow up 312 points. The Nasdaq jumps 107. S&P 500 climbs almost 43. And we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, many Americans are worried about the U.S. job market. According to a survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, 44% say they believe the national unemployment rate will rise next year. That's the highest response to that question since April of 2020, which is shortly after the COVID pandemic emerged. Nearly 16% of those polled also said they have concerns about their own jobs.
It's the first day of the Social Security Administration's new anti-fraud measures. Social Security undergoing a massive overhaul led by the Department of Government Efficiency. The agency will now conduct an anti-fraud check on all phone applications, and anyone flagged for possible fraud must identify and verify that identity in person. The agency is also implementing a new policy barring beneficiaries from changing their direct deposit information on the telephone. Now, last month, the agency unveiled the new efforts that it said were aimed at strengthening identity verification within the program.
Anxiety over air travel is elevated for many people following several recent high-profile incidents, including a belly-up jet in Toronto and a deadly crash in Washington, D.C.
But as Michael George explains, the data shows it's still safe to fly.
Airline travelers are going about their business, but what seems like a string of recent safety incidents has some people more concerned about taking flight.
I feel like it just creates anxiety, basically.
The CBS News Confirmed team shared a recent Storyful analysis showing conversations about aviation incidents were up 243% on X and 71% on Reddit in the U.S. compared to early 2024. And conversations about flight anxiety jumped 72% and 22% respectively.
Usually when one thing catches on, it's just kind of a tumbleweed at that point.
In reality, safety incidents are rare. Last year, there were about 1,500 accidents reported among more than 7.4 million domestic flights. That's less than 0.02%.
We can go 2 million flights before we would expect a serious injury to occur.
Retired pilot and aviation expert Kit Darby says the digital age is making mishaps top of mind.
We have color video almost instantly of any problem that occurs. And that makes it so much more real. It makes it more exciting, and it makes it seem more prevalent. And when actually it's not. Statistically, our accident rate has been going down steadily since the 70s.
Experts say one way to deal with any emotional feelings about flying is to counter them with facts, namely that flying remains extremely safe. Some simple things you can do on board: wear your seatbelt all the time, pay attention to announcements and crew instructions, and leave your carry-ons in an emergency.
I have two things that I do. I glance in at the cockpit when I walk in, and I always pay attention when they tell us just because it's rude to just not pay attention.
One more precaution: always know where the nearest exits are. It might not be the door where you entered. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
It's been a gusty Monday out there. The winds are blowing, but nice to see the sunshine at least earlier. Hi, Alex.
Hey there. Yes, nice start to the week. We had a little bit of sunshine, but now those gusty winds behind this weather system are ushering in clouds and some shower and some rain shower and some snow shower chances. Not out there right now on radar 3000, but that's going to change here as we put future track into motion. A couple showers sneaking into southwest Wisconsin. So we get a little bit later in tonight, a few more showers mixed in with a little bit of that wet snow, especially for areas north and east of Madison, but we're not expecting accumulations with snow. The ground's pretty warm out there. Anything that would fall would be that slushy variety that melts away quickly, and then eventually those skies will turn a little bit more on the sunny side a little bit later into Tuesday. Rainfall amounts perhaps a tenth, maybe a quarter of an inch if you're lucky out of this bit of weather that's coming through early this week. And we have more rain chances that are in the forecast as early as Thursday going on into Friday. Another weather event coming in later in the weekend, Sunday going on into the following Monday. But it's this Thursday, Friday weather system that really has the attention of the First Warn Weather Team, as this weather system could bring some strong storms to southern Wisconsin. And it all depends on the cold front passage. An earlier passage would reduce that severe weather threat, which we hope is the case. Right now, weather models are kind of 50-50. Some are showing that cold front coming through in the morning, which would reduce that severe weather threat. And some weather models are showing that cold front hanging out to our west and then coming through during the evening hours, which would increase the severe weather threat. Nonetheless, we need the water from that weather system. We just don't need the severe weather. Tonight, that's rain, snow, shower mix across all of southern Wisconsin. Some areas may stay entirely dry, but if you do get some raindrops and a few snowflakes, consider yourself lucky. That's a little bit of moisture to put into the ground with temperatures in the upper 30s and then highs as we go on into your Tuesday. Upper 40s to the lower 50s. That breezy stuff continues. Join me at 6. I'll let you know when will those winds finally ease on up. It's been a windy past couple of days here. 55 in Madison, 60 in Boscoville, 61. Just talked to our friends at WCLO in Janesville, and they said confirmed. Windy, but at least it's mild out right now. 55 in McFarland, 56 in Waunakee right now, and 58 to the west on 14 in Cross Plains. Planning our evening, breezy conditions. Temperatures staying in the upper 40s to right around 50. Might need a light jacket or maybe some gloves and some mittens with that breeze out there, putting a little bit of a bite into the air. And a recap here with our forecast. Rain and snow showers tonight, staying breezy through Tuesday. Again at 6, I will show you a projection of when we can expect those winds to ease up. And at 10, I'll show you future tracking that weather system Thursday going on into Friday. At least with that weather system too going Thursday into Friday, we got good rain chances. Some of that rain could be on the heavy side going into Thursday night and Friday. A break on Saturday. Another good chance of showers and thunderstorms as we go Sunday into Monday of next week. So at least the silver lining there is we don't need the severe weather, but we got some good rain chances coming to southern Wisconsin and much of the state for that matter, and we need it.
All right, Alex, thank you. And it's an historic all-female flight into space. A look back at this morning's flight on board a Blue Origin rocket. That's next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
CBS Mornings co-host turned astronaut Gayle King has been to space and back. She was part of the first all-female crew aboard Blue Origin's new Shepard rocket for today's history-making flight.
Karen Wah shows us the spectacular view.
1, 2, 3, take us space!
This was the view inside Blue Origin's space capsule when an all-female crew took flight Monday morning. It was the journey of a lifetime for this lucky half dozen, including CBS Mornings co-host Gayle King and singer Katy Perry. Journalist and pilot Lauren Sanchez organized the group after pitching the all-women flight to fiancé and Amazon and Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos.
I can't wait to hear how it's changed you.
Gayle's emotions were written on her face as she rang the bell heading into the capsule. But the self-admitted nervous flyer surprised herself.
I can't stress enough, guys, how terrified I was. But it was so calming to me and it was so peaceful. They are floating, they are weightless.
The 10-minute flight allowed this crew to collect data for future flights and gain a new perspective on Earth.
Just protect this planet we're on. I mean, this is the only one we've got.
The crew also included a film producer, a former NASA engineer, and a scientist who advocates for survivors of sexual violence like herself. That's Amanda Wynn, who made this flight a healing experience with a very personal zero-gravity indicator.
I ended up bringing it and floating it, and it's the hospital band from the day.
And Katy Perry did sing in space, choosing a little bit of What a Wonderful World.
I didn't pick one of my songs because, again, it's not about me. It's about the collective, and it's about the view that we get to see, that we're humbled by, and how wonderful our world is.
The women say they hope their moment in space will inspire others to dream big. Karen Hua, CBS News, Van Horn, Texas.
Blue Origin has not disclosed who paid for the flight or how much it costs.
What a great adventure. A final check on the weather when we come back.
For the first time, an all-woman crew, including our Gayle King, goes to space. So when do we all get a chance? We look at the future of space tourism.
And in our Eye on America, a CBS News investigation. More organs are available for transplant. So why are so many of them thrown away with so many people in need? That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up in a half hour on News 3 Now at 6, a heartwarming story about a community coming together to make a young boy's dream come true.
And Alex is here with a final check of the weather for tonight.
A little bit on the wintry side, sorry to say that.
Wintry?
A little bit. We got a few
Got another month of winter to go, and you know that, Susan?
A few rain and snow showers tonight. The good news is we're not expecting any accumulation tonight, but we'll take the drops because it is dry out there for a good portion of southern Wisconsin. Breezy through Tuesday. At 6, I'm going to show you when those winds will finally ease on up, and also at 10, give you a projection of what that Thursday, Friday weather system may look like, because that could cause some strong storm activity across southern Wisconsin. Good chances for rain, though. A lot of water with that weather system, and yet another weather system Sunday going on into Monday the following weekend that brings more water to southern Wisconsin, and we'll take, as I always say, we'll take all the drops we can get.
All right, Alex, thank you. We're back in a half hour with News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.